All right. What's going on, everybody? This is the Avengers episode where we're going to discuss this little Endgame hype that's going on that everybody's been talking about.
Two podcasts
one.
coming together.
In one.
We got Cage Against, and we got the Just Being Earnest podcast minus two, minus Lenny and Cleve.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they had prior engagements. They had other things they had to do.
Snap them back.
Yeah, they'll come back like the other superheroes.
I'm dirty Ern.
Well done.
This Daniel Oda. Somebody should have told you.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, please introduce yourself.
I'm
before we
SweetMBA,
get
and I
into
didn't know we were doing rhymes. I didn't prepare.
Hey, well, it's whatever you want to do here.
Off the cuff. Let's go.
I am the Dr. J.K. Atkins, the evil one.
Brain damage.
Not the executive producer today, Deshawn Davis.
All right. That'll be
He's
going.
our Daniel Oda.
Oh, word.
Okay.
I respect that.
All right. So
I feel for you. I really do.
You guys should do a podcast where you complain about podcasters.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
normally y'all talk about the fight game.
Or as you call it, the hands and the feet.
The hands and the feet.
The hands and the feet.
The hands and the feet. You know, and I enjoy it a lot.
And elbows.
Well, thank you. We
I
appreciate it.
learned things that on that show, that I don't.
Very
you know,
cool. We did not know that it worked.
I know because I
We strive for it. but-
I know about the hands.
Yes.
But when y'all talk about the hands and the feet and the tackling, taking your shoes off and things,
Yeah.
we're in uncharted territory. So I appreciate y'all show. One time, you learn about people too. So I learned about y'all watching that show. You in particular.
Of course.
One time I heard you say something about whooping somebody's ass.
Yes.
That was a professional fighter.
Yes.
I don't remember who.
It was Dylan Dennis. Oh, I remember vividly.
Dylan Dennis, that's Conor McGregor's homeboy.
I don't know if I could call. I think Dylan Dennis gets a check from Bellator, but I don't know if it's okay to call him a professional fighter.
Shit.
There is that. I mean,
When I heard you say that, I was like, okay, this motherfucker might be have a whole little something.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I mean, I am past my prime, and he is wet behind the ears. Breath smelling like Similac.
Oh, he's a baby.
But I mean,
A little wet behind the ears.
Just a little bit. You might want to get a towel, maybe a couple of baby wipes, maybe some Pampers, and we might be good to go.
Dylan Dennis.
Yes.
And he's not a professional fighter, you say, or he's supposed to be.
Well, he plays one on television.
Oh, okay.
That's for sure.
So he's in the game.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
is. I guess you would understand this analogy. He would be the freaky tar to
I get it.
Conor McGregor's Mr. Cheeks.
Okay.
He is the weed carrier for Conor McGregor.
Okay.
He is there to give you the illusion that Conor McGregor can wrestle.
So Dylan Dennis is a wrestler.
He's a
Allegedly.
jiu-jitsu.
He's a jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Allegedly.
And he's pretty good, but he's been kicked out of many jiu-jitsu gyms because he has no morals.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's kind of that guy. It's like we were talking about earlier with hip hop. It's like,
Is this the dude that Habib punched in
yeah,
the face?
that's the one who jumped over. Habib jumped over to slap.
To really just give him
Okay.
the foot in the face. Yeah, that's him. That's him.
So it's
Okay.
sort of like
Stomp. The
you
equal
not
stomp.
hard, but if you stand next to a gangster, people might think you're a gangster. That's generally
And that's basically what
Man,
he is.
this dude sounds whack. He sounds like he stayed getting whooped.
I mean, he's whack. His shorts are whack. His style is whack. He's even in a whack organization.
His kickflip is whack.
I mean, at the end of the day,
What organization is he in?
Bellator.
The Bellator is whack?
Bellator. As hell.
Okay. So
As hell. Look at it like
Wait,
this.
hold
Like,
on.
look at it
No,
like this.
no
disagree, I
disrespect.
disagree.
Wait, I know you're
Not,
gonna
not to everybody.
No
disrespect to everybody.
If you're a Bellator fighter,
Just
No
went off on
disrespect to
Bellator.
everybody.
if you get a check
However-
from Bellator, get your money, man. We love you.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But however, I will say this.
Do you watch Canadian football?
No.
No.
Case closed.
Oh, it's to that level,
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean,
It's the NBA and the G League.
I mean, I
because it
checked it out
gives
when
a
T.O. and
platform.
Ricky Williams was doing
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
it gives a platform to other up and comers. Some that are a little bit too old that'll go.
Oh,
but
okay.
They do put on some.
I was starting to get confused because I heard
Yeah.
you say up and comers, and I started thinking over the hill. So I mean,
there-
maybe
there's that.
Okay.
There's the
Oh,
circus
he's turned
fight.
up.
Oh, all
He's
the way
turned
live.
up. You're gonna get applause on that one.
Steak
They're,
fries.
they're the ones that did Kimbo and Dada 5000, right?
with
Brain,
pineapples.
brain. We've had this combo. Yeah. I love supporting local MMA, and the fact that Bellator's in San Jose. I mess with Scott Coker. He's put money into our gym. However, we've had this combo. Tito versus Chael Sonnen.
Tito. For the people you say Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz.
Right.
You know that we've talked about that look prearranged, and we
Oh
also know.
yes. Oh yes.
So that was the first one. We secondly know Hoist Gracie at how old is he? $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
Should
Against
not be
Ken
fighting
Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock, who was alive, when Jesus was in high school. They should not be fighting.
And then
Can I get some applause for Tito Ortiz smashing a washed up porn star?
and then let's also
I
put
wouldn't
this
call
in
Chuck
perspective,
Liddell
right?
a porn star.
No,
oh.
wow. But let's put this in perspective. First of all, I want to put some respect on a couple of names. So for
It's
those
not
who
Cage.
don't
We have to
know,
be nice.
Much needed respect.
Kimbo Slice, his name is
Say it loud.
Kevin Ferguson Sr.
Say it
So
loud.
That's right.
Let's get that
Right.
correct.
That's right. Yes.
Okay?
do
Mr.
have-
Dada 5000,
What's his name?
Zahir Harris.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get the gentlemen's names right first.
Why are you laughing?
Because when he gets upset about this, Zahir Harris, he'll be like yelling like he can hear him.
I'm sorry.
What's the other one you get upset about? What? Since we had the subject, I saw some pretty good officiating. I texted you about 2 weeks ago,
no.
and Rochester.
Mr. Todd Ferguson from the New York State Athletic
Todd
Commission.
Anderson.
Todd Anderson.
Todd
See,
Anderson.
look. That's how insignificant he is, and he shouldn't even be officiating in mixed martial arts anyway. But don't get me started on that tangent. Let's go somewhere else.
God damn.
Wait,
Okay.
what was that?
Todd Anderson. Oh, you know, the guy that nearly
Todd
got
Anderson for this reason.
that nearly got a fighter severely hurt in several fights.
JK might be our Rocket Raccoon sometimes when we get him on a tangent.
Yeah. So why are we here?
What a good
Power
segue.
rabbit.
Why are we here?
I think you guys know we did a Avengers Infinity War podcast because I think a lot of this started off where we like to watch MMA and then talk about.
You guys did it last year.
We did, and the plan for the audience, the plan was always to bring together what we felt was, the Avengers of Black MMA, which is Cage, together with the Guardians of the Ghetto, which is
That's right.
the Just Being Earned show. We'd always
Yes.
planned this. It was
Yes.
always a crossover event, right?
Right.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We
for a while.
talked about. We'd always said
yeah.
we were going to bring the two crews together,
Yeah.
and we're going to do this, and it just didn't work. And
There was some sucker shit involved.
Yeah.
Let's go Voltron Force. Let's go.
yeah. So we knew we had to do this one.
I'm not that old, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that old.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the babies in the arena, that is when 5 lion robots come together to form one gigantic superhero robot.
Voltron.
Oh, like Power Rangers.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Like
Breath
Power Rangers.
smelling like Similac.
Kinda like
Anybody got a box of Infamil? Anybody?
We always knew that we were going to do this podcast. We were fans of each other, and we decided, building out our own networks, we had to do this. So given that everybody else was doing these Endgame podcasts, which is cool, no shots, but they're not really dealing with the topics the way that we are. And so we knew that we had to bring this up and kind of review this and say, it's 10 years. Case in point, when I first came over into tape, I just have to put you guys on. If you've ever watched the Just Being Earnest podcast, you see in the background, these dudes have album covers of classic 90s hip-hop, right? That has been brought together with classic Marvel comic book covers.
Yep.
I mean, our whole podcast started about the linkage between classic hip-hop
Marvel
and
hip-hop
martial arts.
covers.
So it just made sense. You guys were the only people we could really bring this to when we said, we saw this movie. It's been 10 years. we got to chop it up and discuss it. And we even have like, shout out to Mitch. We have people in the same way you come to us and you say, hey, I don't know how to watch this MMA fight. What should I look for? And we explain it.
Right.
We have people who watch our show and then come to us and say, I don't know what I should be looking for in a Marvel movie. What should I get excited about?
Right.
So I think we feel like this is our job to explain this to people and understand what to expect next. So I thought this would be good. But given like just reactions or whatever, I got some questions. I think I'm somewhat organized.
I am definitely not organized. My audience.
Let's
knows
get
that.
some background. How many of us have read comics that are Marvel, grew up with comics, or currently read Marvel comics? I just want to understand what our frame of reference is.
All of the above, sir.
Yes.
Okay?
Can I keep
So
my
definitely you
hand
guys are comic heads, okay? All
down?
through the era.
I'm gonna keep my hand down.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
I didn't. When I was a kid, I didn't really read them as much as just like kind of look through them.
Yep.
But definitely, I've gotten back into it.
Doctor?
Reading comic books was actually one of the things that helped me learn to speak English. So
Nice.
Speak English. Where are you from? The motherland?
Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Oh, word.
You know what we have to say since you said it. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
AFRCA, Angola,
Yeah, Zimbabwe.
Tanzania,
Mozambique.
Botswana.
What is that? Lionel Richie? What is that?
Outrageous.
Oh yeah, outrageous. Yeah.
Outrageous.
No, what is that?
What is that? Lionel Richie?
Nah, man.
What is that?
I thought it was
Stetsasonic.
Stetsasonic.
It's a moral
Right.
disgrace. It's a moral disgrace.
And I would like to also
They rap too fast.
just go ahead and bust one myth.
Yes.
There was no apartheid in Mozambique. People used to come up to me and ask me that all the time. And I'd be like, no, motherfucker, that's South Africa.
My man is passionate,
Dude,
the passion.
we are turned up in here.
So I would say so it's kind of good that we set it up that
No
way. So
apartheid.
definitely comic heads.
No
I think you're
apartheid in
kinda-
Mozambique.
You and I are
Oh, niggas
grew up on
crazy.
comics. We came back to comics. These guys didn't. So what point did everybody come into the MCU? What movie that was brought you in? Are you a sometimey? Do you watch some of the movies? Did you watch all 22? What kind of brought you into this?
You want to go?
Go ahead.
It's hard to say because like when I was watching Iron Man when that
Yeah.
first came out.
Yeah.
2008?
I didn't really think of like the universe that it was building at the time. There's all
Right.
these little crumbs that they would leave at the end of the movies. where
Yes.
it's, they're showing you bits and pieces of like Thor. I think that was at the end of the first Iron Man where they discovered the hammer or something like that.
No, that's the hammer's at the end of Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Right? But Iron Man 1 is just Nick Fury, and we didn't even know if we were going to get more movies.
Oh, sure.
Right,
Well, another
right.
No, the hammer's at the end of Incredible Hulk.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's right.
We didn't even...
Yes, it
'cause-
was.
Interesting.
And that's what I was
Yes,
going
it
to ask.
was.
Does Iron Man count as MCU? Because we
Yes.
didn't know if we were going to get other movies.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's
I
like,
definitely would say that it is.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
for me
That's what
it
jumped it off.
yeah. Like I really enjoyed Avengers when it came out. It was
Yes.
just like a fun ride and everything. So I came in like I jumped on the bandwagon of like everything that Marvel was doing at the point of the Avengers.
Great. So that's what brought you in. How about you, Ern? What was the one that was like, I'm in. Strap me in.
I mean, anything that Marvel does, regardless of who's putting it out,
Oh,
I'm in.
fair.
I've always been that way. I just like to be in the know.
Fair. So
So
you do the Fox movies as well. You do anything Marvel?
I had to stop doing the movies. I do the TV shows, unfortunately, but TV, I watch TV.
Okay, fair.
You know,
Not me. I've
and if
seen
it's
all the Fox movies.
and if
all
it's
the
Marvel, I gotta check the
Marvel
accuracy.
movies. They're definitely not as intricate and as well thought out, but I just still enjoy them because I'm like, this is what I grew up on. And I still love these characters, and I can't wait for Marvel to get those X-Men characters and just the mutant genre in general.
5 years.
So,
5
but
years.
I mean, yeah.
5 years.
So, but I agree with you. We didn't know that Iron Man was introducing us to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
But the first time I
Iron
seen
Man
that
was the first
trailer,
one. right?
Yeah, I guess if you count that the
Yeah.
combo he had with Nick Fury at the end, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been in it since the beginning.
Got
Right,
it.
exactly. As soon as I seen the trailer to begin with, I was like,
I'll be honest, I was so
an Iron Man movie.
Because I was on Blade, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Real talk.
Forget that
Real
Blade
talk.
is Marvel.
Real
Yeah.
talk.
right.
Yeah.
No, I never forget. I just be like, Then I remember the third one. I'm like, oh. Because it also gave you Ryan Reynolds. So I was like,
Right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Iron Man and being so impressed, and I thought I didn't know that it could get better than Batman Begins, and I was like, really? But I was so traumatized by X-Men movies, I just really was not ready for it to be good.
Right.
I had to manage expectations.
That's interesting because
It's
I
like-
actually. So you thought that Batman Begins was like at the time the pinnacle of like really good superhero film.
Because think about
Right.
what the last.
I would have to
what-
agree.
Think about
No,
what it was compared to at that
I
time.
actually agree,
Right,
too.
What we
Yeah.
compare it to, right?
You're comparing it to. Think about it. I'm comparing it to Batman and Robin when they punch. Literally, a grown
Pow.
man is wearing rubber on his face and he punches somebody and goes bam, and I'm like,
it say bam on it.
and I'm like,
Right. yeah.
Or I mean, even worse yet.
I just waiting
was
for Jar Jar
imagining
Binks to come out.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr.
Right.
Freeze.
I was literally
Oh,
just
dude.
about to go
Oh
there.
yeah.
I was literally just about to go there.
Ern is a big Michael Keaton fan.
Michael Keaton, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Oh,
That's my guy.
no dabs for Michael.
have you guys heard the rumor? Batman Begins with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, with the young
Batman,
Robin and
you
the
right?
old Batman.
Yeah.
That would be fly.
My question is
That
how
might
many
bring it back.
injuries would happen during the filming of that movie? Anyway, carry on.
No, meaning retired Batman. He's a mentor
Yeah.
Oh.
with a young Batman who basically runs. It's in the future, and they're a gang.
They're using the fact that Keaton is
You
old
said they gay.
They're
What?
a gang.
in real life.
Oh, I heard.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm from Florida. I have an accent.
But they're
I
about
heard-
to use the Twilight Kid as
But it's
Batman.
You ever watch Batman Begins or Batman?
What's wrong
Beyond?
with that?
You ever,
Robert Pattinson.
Okay, hold on. Let me crush something
Pattinson's
right
the new
now.
Batman.
Oh, well, we
No,
crush on.
Because
Yes.
people really hate it when I say this.
People are angry and furious about Robert Pattinson.
People really hate it when I say this. But a comic book hero is one of the easiest things to do in acting. It's not Malcolm X, okay? It's not Martin Luther King.
Okay,
It is not Mahatma Gandhi.
you tell them.
It's not any of those historical figures that have nuance.
Preach.
Okay? I think you need to let it go.
Walk them down the
Vampires
road.
shouldn't sparkle, and they're not that hard to play either.
My point exactly.
God damn it! After seeing Ben Affleck fuck it up, I mean,
Right.
it's
Okay,
totally.
Okay, touche.
I mean, there's a lot of depth to Bruce Wayne.
What's up, man?
You want to say something?
What's
Go
up,
ahead.
man?
Man on film screen yet?
Who?
He thinks that Ben Affleck is the best.
I
Batman.
thought he was
No,
pretty good. I thought he was pretty
I thought
good.
you liked Christian Bale.
I thought he.
But he's better than Christian Bale.
I told you, boy. I told you. I've said it.
No.
I've said it. I've said it before.
I'm with you.
Michael Keaton is the greatest Batman of all time.
Hey, you know what? You should
Of all time.
look like
Fucking
you can
horseshit.
disagree with me, Daniel.
It's fucking
You can
horseshit.
shake your head, but Christian Bale can't.
Yeah. Christian Bale. Been whack.
That-
Three movies of fight scenes like the suit neck doesn't work. Is that Batman?
he's-
Is that Batman?
That was the first movie when he couldn't
Three
turn his head.
movies.
No,
It's a ninja
they
who can't move his neck. Okay, cool. Sure. Great start. But the alcoholic angry.
don't you disrespect Christian Bale like that, man.
Hey, I watch Empire of the Sun. I'm with
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah. That was
Christian Bale.
probably his first role.
We're talking Avengers Endgame here.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
okay. Let's get back on track.
Focus.
Yeah.
All right, so
Batman
I
almost
started
took
with
over.
Iron Man. I loved what they did with this idea. It was Silicon Valley tech bro with a flying tank.
Yeah, that was dope.
And I was as soon as I heard it was Robert Downey Jr., I was like, oh, this is real because he can be a drug addict. This is real. They're actually going to do this. Jon Favreau's directing this. Oh, it'll be like Swingers. This is real. This is going to happen. This is real. Oh my God, the bad guy Jeff Bridges. They're going to bring in. Wow, they take me seriously. I was so impressed with that movie. They even put it in Afghanistan. It was great. Signed up.
Word.
Could not believe. Was so depressed. Could not believe we were going to get more movies, so I just waited. And then I walked into Incredible Hulk and was like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, for me,
to be honest, I felt like that with a lot of Marvel movies that came after Iron Man.
really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I try not to focus on the nuance and the detail of each film prior to actually seeing it. I like to always wait for the finished product and evaluate it for what it is rather than worrying about who the director is, who the actors are.
Right.
For me, the finished product and the art itself is more important than the details prior to production. I see it as ludicrous and irrelevant.
Right. And to me,
Luda.
I'm not coming in on the back end of, I don't know, what 20, 30 years of
How old are you, young man?
I'm 30.
Okay, same age as you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming in on the back end of
You 20? Oh, you 29. My bad.
however many years of comic books and however twisted their minds are. Like I'm coming in off of the TV shows and what I'm seeing in front of me. Like I enjoyed the first Punisher.
Okay,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
okay.
Was that the first Punisher? No.
Which
Tom
one?
Jane,
Which
right?
one?
With
Yeah.
Tom Jane.
Yeah.
That's not the first Punisher.
That's not the first Punisher.
Well, that's
right.
the one that he
that I'm
wrote.
talking about.
You're not talking
That's why I was. That's why I
Which
said
one was
that.
John
because-
Travolta?
That's why I said that.
Now you
John
Remember
Travolta.
Dolph Lundgren?
So
Dolph
technically,
Lundgren, that was the first one.
That was the first one.
right.
Yeah, that's why
so
I said
technically
Tom
the
Jane.
second one.
Because I've been hurt before. Let's just put it this way.
That Dolph
But
Lundgren.
again,
Like-
also to your point, not all the comics were fresh.
I could dig that.
No, meaning there's eras of comics that are not fresh.
But I'm saying that you still have a slate of stuff you remember that
Yeah.
you relate to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The films and the scripts and how everything's going to play out and what the new bad guy is going to be and all this insight where I'm looking at it like Hulk, Punisher.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Iron Man came out, was dope
Right.
to me, right? I
Right.
don't have the expectations,
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this is dope. And then to me, I'm like, it would be really dope if they continue to build on it,
Right.
which they did.
I wasn't sold until Captain America,
Which one?
the first one.
The first one, the
Yeah.
first
When
Avenger.
I saw the
Yeah.
first one, I
Yeah,
saw
that
that
was
with my
dope.
uncle, and for him being a vet and being around during that time, like he was really like I could see him nodding and the stuff he was saying. And I was like, whoa, okay, they did this right, you know. I mean, I always liked Captain America in the comics, but I didn't think that I was ready for this to be a hot mess all over again until Captain America, and it was like 3 months before Avengers. I was like, oh, this could be serious. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
spent time on this. Which leads me to my next question. So if we think that it seems like by most people's standards, Endgame is just that, the best MCU movie ever created. If that's not true for you, what else is in your top 3 of MCU?
That to me, that was the best one.
Okay, and then what is number 2 and 3?
Man, number 2. So Endgame 1, 2. Man,
would put
I really like Winter Soldier.
Good call. Okay, yeah,
I like Winter Soldier.
yeah.
And then the motherfucking Snap.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
War.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Infinity War is number 1 for me, actually.
Really?
I liked
You
it
said-
better than Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
liked
with
it.
you.
I liked it more than Endgame.
I agree with you.
I like that one more because Thanos won, but there was just so much awesomeness in Endgame that I have to put that one, Infinity War second, and then Civil War third for me. But my funnest 3 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Homecoming, and Ant-Man 1. Those are the
Okay, yeah, that's a
those are
good
the fun,
separate
hilarious
category.
ones, you know what I mean?
Well,
Well,
it's fun.
just
funny
get
movies.
ready. Just get ready because this will be the first and only time that you hear me say something out of complete bias.
Okay.
Okay.
Black Panther.
Boom.
Great movie.
Black
That
Panther.
That was a great movie.
That's a great
Boom.
fucking movie.
Black Panther.
It's in my top 5.
And then
Yeah.
Black Panther again. And then we could just go with everything else after that because, I mean, to be
Panther was
completely
cold.
honest, I love them all.
Yeah.
All of them.
Right.
There wasn't a time where I was in a movie theater and I didn't like what I saw except for Iron Man 3. But then I digress.
Iron Man 3 was whack.
Garbage.
I digress.
Iron Man 3 was
I
whack.
liked Iron Man 3.
I digress. I digress.
Dumpster
I didn't
fire.
really
don't
like
agree
the
with
first
Wayne.
two doors.
29, 30, 29, 30, holler at me when you guys get your midlife crisis.
I'm 30. I'm 30. I'm 38.
38? That's what Iron Man 3 is about. So, for me, my favorite are, I would say, the
crazy.
movies that nicely tricked me in disbelief. And I've thought about this a lot. I go back to Iron Man because I didn't think we were actually going to get something that great, right?
Right.
Like, literally, there's a moment, and I keep coming back to it, and I actually know. I used to work with one of the guys who did the animation for it. There's a scene where he's in Afghanistan, and he shoots the missile off his shoulder, and he turns around, and he smiles almost when the tank blows up.
Yeah.
And I feel like that summed it up. Like, this actually worked. Because they were, close to being bankrupt. If that movie didn't work, it was done.
Right.
The second one, I would say, is Civil War. I literally did not think we would ever get as much as I
love
had faith in
that
MCU.
fucking movie.
I did not think I was going to get Black Panther in my life.
Exactly.
I did not believe
that's
that.
why I loved it.
I did not believe I was
when
going to
saw
get
that-
Chadwick Boseman. I did not believe I was going to get any of that stuff that we saw in Black Panther. I'm like, look, this is the country I live in. An election's coming. I'm not getting this.
Right.
Look who's running for president. We're not going to get what we want.
Right.
Okay? And that movie, I was like, yo. And
Yeah,
then on top of
you
it,
got Black
this
Panther.
Spider-Man. This Spider-Man kid,
Yeah.
I don't mess with Spider-Man. I don't hate him, but I really wasn't doing the Tobey Maguire stuff. I thought that.
I'm not a fan. I'm
I
not a
thought
fan
that
of
kind of
Spider-Man,
killed
no.
Sam Raimi's
Very,
career.
very true.
Right.
The Amazing Spider-Man stuff, I was like, oh, we got the Facebook guy.
was
No,
whack.
no thanks. But that kid, Tom Holland, I was like, yo, I completely get this autistic, poor dude who be dumpster diving and making his own gadgets. Like,
Yeah.
and that
Totally.
that sold me. And then the third one is I would have to give Endgame because it fooled me because I literally did not think they were going to take my dude out.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, I will say this.
I thought it was going to
about-
be Cap. I fell for it.
Yeah, Avengers Endgame and just watching Thor just cold-heartedly just take
up.
that man head off was one of the coldest things in the movie. And he
went for
just
the head.
walked off
Yeah.
like a gangster who had just shredded a body.
That's
Yeah.
a great
And it was-
segue.
great callback with that line too.
Man.
I went for the head.
Yeah.
Pause.
But then look at what.
Good pause.
Look at what it did.
I didn't know the rules working. All right. Hey,
pause.
it's like Uno, right? Did we get your three, Deshaun?
I can't believe nobody said Guardians. Guardians is
No.
definitely top
Three?
three.
Is- What is your three?
No?
Not in this order. I can't choose an order. I don't have an order. It was definitely Black Panther. It was Infinity War, and it was what was my last one? I had one of the Captain Americas. It wasn't Civil War though.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Are you a fighter too?
No.
You look like you'll take a nigga head off.
That's real good. Yeah. Yeah, I can say it. So I guess for you guys with Winter Soldier, it was
I got hitters on my team. You see this?
it was the intrigue, the spy stuff. Is that what you liked?
I like it. Just I'm a big fan of. I can't. Okay, so Daniel might be able to fill me on this. When it comes to watching movies or music or whatever, the post production and engineering and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
I have to tear stuff apart and dissect it.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at it. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was incredibly well thought out.
Yes.
It was well written.
Yes.
Wardrobe.
Winter Soldier.
The way they did everything, the way they tried to make it feel.
Yes.
It still felt like a real life. What would happen if this actually happened?
Yes.
If this actually happened, what would happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then if this dude needed to be tracked down or whatever needed to be happening, and if this dude really was under this influence the whole time,
Yeah.
how would he act?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how hard would it for you to be able to break that code
Right.
or whatever, right? So it was just, to me,
makes sense.
it just seemed like it was thought out from
What number you got, Winter Soldier?
I didn't put them in any order.
Oh, you didn't put him in no order. You
No.
you
I
didn't
just
want to
follow the
commit.
rules.
I just
He didn't want to commit.
Which is
Well,
interesting.
I thought there was rules to this.
No, he doesn't want to do the rules.
Winter Soldier's coming in at 3.
Applaud my man for being an outlaw.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier's coming in at 3. Black Panther number 1, and then we got Infinity War number 2.
Interesting. I think what this kind of segues, I was going to ask you, and you kind of touched on this, what pleasantly surprised you? What was the one that was like, whoa, that was nice in Endgame? What is it that moment you had that really touched your soul? Pause.
I don't know if that one was paused.
How was that a pause?
Was that one really paused?
That wasn't a pause. Was
Just
it?
trying to make sure.
That
You
was
know,
a stretch.
you have to, man. The internet is always watching.
That was a stretch
Right.
pause.
You never know how these
And the
kids are going to
street.
take
That's
it.
why I was like, I don't know if that was really.
It was a reaching pause.
You
some
never
of
know how the
y'all-
kids are going to take it. You never know.
It was.
Well, you right, because this
I
generation
tried to
is
warn
about as
you.
soft
I
as
was-
cotton candy.
trying to
They
make
turn
a
everything.
preemptive pause around the planet, but no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You guys want to wait till somebody has to die to be
Man,
avenged?
the thing that shocked me
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
was Professor Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Professor Hulk coming out the cuts
Yeah.
and not being himself and just
And
being
had the Bruce Banner face though.
doing what he want to do.
Yeah.
Chilling.
I know that version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
and I like him.
A lot.
I was so upset.
But the thing is they're probably gonna continue Hulk being that way.
That's an inch.
Especially because they're gonna make more Hulk movies. If they're gonna do it accurately, and if they don't want the comic book fans to get mad, Hulk is fucked up now.
See, here's,
I don't think they're gonna do
here's
it.
the thing about that though.
Hulk has a fucked up arm and a fucked up face.
Here's the thing
And
about
that thing
this,
is
though.
I don't think they're gonna do
permanent.
it.
Because if he gets angry again, then his cells regenerate.
I mean, but he's gonna be Hulk. So that's still in there.
I'll bring in some business stuff in a minute. We'll talk about that.
I don't think they're gonna make one, and if they do, it's not gonna be for a while.
I don't think. Yeah, I'll come back to that. So yours was Professor Hulk. Night. That was your moment. You're like, wow, this happened.
Yeah.
Oda, what was yours?
Mine was at the very end with Captain America, where he was sitting on the bench, and that was
Because that's how it really happens too.
Yeah.
That's how it really happens. That's how the books tell it.
that brought so much depth to his character because
You see that Sam Wilson cover right there? That's you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
Falcon.
yep at the top left.
Oh, they should make that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a TV show. You know that, right? We'll come back to
But
that.
they should make Falcon into that cover. They should do that.
Oh, the ASAP Rocky cover.
No,
That
the TV show is him and Bucky hunting down white supremacists and Hydra in America.
They're coming out. Yeah, they're coming out with them.
Oh, I got to be on that.
Yeah, that's
Pause.
what Falcon,
Shit.
That's what Falcon's always about. When he's throwing the shield and hitting them in the face. He's
Sick.
like, telling him, I'm from.
It's funny that you want to sit up here and mention a Hydra, because I go into people who hate Warriors, the Warriors. I
Hail
go to
Hydra?
their ear and say, Hail Hydra.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So yours.
Fucking dickheads. I hate people who live in the Bay Area and hate on the Warriors. That shit is so weird to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go off topic for a second for all you motherfuckers. Don't ever try to call a Warrior fan
A bandwagon
fan.
Man,
we
listen.
live out here.
Listen.
Now listen, you live in the Bay Area, or you live in LA, or you live in Texas, or somewhere like that, and was rooting for Miami, and then you rooted for Cleveland, and you rooted for now you're rooting for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't want to hear it. Shut the fuck up.
First of
Right.
all, and let me since you want to mention that, listen, this is not the 405. This ain't the 5. This is 880 and 580. All of y'all Laker fans who live here in the Bay Area, all of y'all suckers, whack. Your whole style, whack.
Y'all ex-Kings fans.
Even if you move to Tahoe, Kel.
Whack.
Maybe
see this
semantics.
Maybe
Semantics.
the Bay Area has allowed sports teams to build a culture of disloyalty for 40 years, which is why I don't fuck with them. I only fuck with UFC. Anyways,
Interesting.
No. See, the
You
real
know, it
reason
used to
why
be-
the real reason why he doesn't actually do it, the reason why he doesn't mess with sports is because he doesn't understand it. That's the real issue here.
what's not to understand? Most of my friends make under 100,000. To afford the ticket, you have to have 100,000. What's not understand? What's not
I rest my
understand?
case.
What's not
Notice
understand?
he didn't
What's not
say
understand?
anything about the actual game.
Me and this guy used to do security at the games.
Guaranteed. And what does that have to do with the game of basketball, man? Man, get up out of here.
know.
Stop talking. Next. Let's move on.
What was the next question?
What? Why are we here again?
I'm sorry.
Batman and
I,
Warrior.
I agree with you that people say crazy stuff. Just remember, most of the people in the Bay Area right now are not from the Bay Area, so they bring that disloyalty stuff.
Oh yeah,
and that's what people,
melting pot. Yeah, absolutely.
So now yours. Now with Cap, was it that he sat on the bench, or was it that he got the dance? What was it that was like the
That was
moment for
great.
you?
No, the fact that he like did his service and going back and getting rid of the stone.
Did the full life.
And he lived a full life.
Very
because
cool.
to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I actually didn't like Chris Evans as Captain America.
Yo.
I thought I didn't think that
More shots fired.
He
Yeah.
kept telling me.
Let's go back to the Warriors combo. What is this?
He kept telling me during the movie how terrible Chris Evans was. He kept telling me during Endgame, man. Chris
yeah,
Evans,
because Chris.
terrible.
I gotta disagree.
I
I feel
disagree
like I'm
too.
so insane with that most of America and the world has decided there is no Chris Evans, there's only Captain America.
Oh my goodness.
Like I
So-
agree
You
at
didn't know his
first when I was
name.
like, this guy was already
I didn't
the
know
Human
his
Torch.
name.
Why is he? But once
He thought he was.
said I didn't know his name.
He thought he was.
even care.
Dude.
What other role he gonna play ever in life?
That's,
Snowpiercer.
You know what I'm saying?
oh,
I don't know.
I've actually seen that movie.
Wow. Wow.
But he just didn't give me the depth of Captain America. Like if you read I'm sure you've read the actual Civil War comic, right?
Yeah, but that's a different universe.
see how we got to go there?
I-
We
I'm
always
just
gotta go
saying.
back to the book.
Can't-
Always gotta go back to the book. It's a
It's a different
thing.
universe.
Chris Evans-
It's not the same thing.
It's a different universe.
It's a different thing.
I agree.
Can I defend myself?
No.
No, I'm just
Okay.
Finish.
So
I finished.
so this is
Okay,
my
okay.
house we're in right now. So Chris Evans, he was a Boy Scout.
Yes.
That's how I viewed him in Captain America. was
I
that
agree. And he was
it was-
supposed to be.
Yeah,
But
get,
yes,
get him out
yes.
of here.
There needed to be well.
You wanted
it's just my
no,
personal
I get
opinion.
it. You wanted civil rights Cap. This was ultimate Cap. He's the Boy Scout. He's not civil rights Cap.
Okay, so that's what I just. That's
I agree
why
with
in,
you.
Yeah.
In
But
Infinity,
don't blame the actor. Blame the writers that
That put
yes,
him in that
that
position.
put him in that
I'm not.
position.
I'm not. Well, actually,
Chris
I was
Evans
talking
was
shit
dope.
about his acting. I was talking shit about his acting. I was though. That's true. Yeah.
Applaud Daniel Oda for hating.
We need an
Steak fries.
equal measurement of hate.
Pineapples.
No, but you're right.
and-
Pineapples.
Pick it up.
That would be the name of this episode: Diced Pineapples versus Steak Fries. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I only brought up Civil War because of that scene in the comic where
Right.
he.
Yeah, no, what you mean?
Oh yeah, gotcha.
That's
So-
what I thought I was gonna get when I saw the movie.
Yeah,
I thought I was
so-
gonna get Luke Cage and him and like on some. Yeah.
Remember in Civil War when he just beats Punisher to a pulp?
Yes.
He calls him a maniac, and Punisher calls him like you know you're my hero and everything.
He basically says you're
But-
one step from being a white supremacist. He beats the crap out of
Yeah.
Punisher and is like, you know, you got problems, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that Captain America was
Yes.
so that depth that I got out of Captain America in Endgame was what that was really really great for me to see.
Yes.
Okay.
100% agreed. And
you
we're
go.
gonna come back to that.
So that was his surprise.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Just had to get that out.
Dragon. What is yours?
When Captain America called the hammer and started beating the shit out of Thor.
Oh, yeah.
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 Totally.
Wait, start beating the shit out of Thanos, right?
Thanos.
Yeah.
I said Thor, huh?
You
Started
did?
Beating
dogging
the
him.
shit out of Thanos.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like him and Thanos were both worthy at that same moment because Thanos caught the axe and started putting it in Thor's chest, and Captain America picked up the hammer to stop him from killing Thor. So they both like right
but
there leveled
Stormbreaker-
up.
But
Stormbreaker
Stormbreaker does
doesn't have
not.
any-
Yeah, it
doesn't have
doesn't
the
have
spell.
that
Not
spell
Mjolnir.
on it.
Anybody could do that?
Yeah.
Anybody.
Oh, I didn't know
That's
that.
why it's made because it's given off to Beta Ray Bill.
We stand on guard for thee.
Yeah. Dope. How about you, Brain? What was yours?
I wrote on the blog thing that just the time jump for 5 years is what I was not expecting.
Oh, okay.
Didn't that kind of remind you of Walking Dead? When Scott Lang is like walking around looking at like different empty houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And,
5 years later, and it's all
But
kind of
that also kind of shocked me too. Is that
yeah.
He got stuck in
Like-
that quantum realm.
yeah, but a rat walks across the machinery and brings him back. Like he got lucky.
Maybe.
He would have still been stuck
Maybe.
in there.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. We don't know.
No, I literally watched it.
Maybe.
No, we don't know if that rat was placed or a shapeshifter or whatever
Right.
the hell they're going to do
We
with
don't
that
know.
rat.
Oh, I
we
see
don't
what
know.
you're saying.
Right.
We don't
And
know
we
if
don't
the
know what
Watchers
other
placed the
elements have been
rat or
put there.
whatever.
Right.
See,
Right.
No.
And also, here's another factor. I've thought about this. We know that the original Wasp, right, was in the quantum realm for 20 years.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yep.
Which
Gave her unknown powers
may have
to
been
us.
millions of years.
Right.
And it gave her tons of powers.
Right.
We know he was in there for a moment, and that's 5 years. So he may have been able to move stuff, and that's just the rat. We don't know the extent.
And I would just say this: when Thor took off Thanos' head, right? The first thing that popped in my head was Helter Skelter.
Oh, when he chopped her.
Itchy, ya. They call me Dada. 6 million ways to murder. Choose one.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't think about that. That's a great one.
Cold
Natural Born
reference.
Killers.
Cold
What was
Not
your?
really.
Yeah, that was my one. It's how Thor just took off Thanos' head and just walked off like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Like it was just the easiest thing in the world. Like he stepped in a kitchen and chopped up chicken breasts and left and was just out.
But back to the time jump, you see 5 years later is how that fucked him up.
Well, he
'Cause
cleaned
he was
his
just
ass
sitting
up.
there.
boy.
He became the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
That guy was
because he was like, damn, we could have questioned him a little bit further, and like, I just ended it before, like, I didn't even leave it to discussion.
But that wasn't
I asked the other
what
Avengers, I
fucked
just-
him up. It was like the fact that he didn't get it right the first time.
Well, yeah, he been having that quote in his head
And-
for 5
and-
years.
And he didn't get it right
And
the
it's not
second
just
time.
that. How many moments did he not act on? Right?
Right.
It's his whole arc. He was carrying. I mean, that's why it was important for him to talk to his mom. And
Yeah,
have
and
that
I
go.
would say that the second time he did get it right because he remembered what Thanos said.
Yep.
You should have gone for the head. And what was the first thing he did when he got the chance? Took that joint right off.
But it was
my
such
question is, first he cut
Couldn't
off
let a
his
nigga eat
hand to
breakfast
get the
though,
fin.
man?
Why didn't they do that when they was all sitting there struggling and everybody wanted to blame Quill for making him unfocused?
Because it was Quill's fault.
But why didn't he
Quill-
just chop the
We're nerds.
Well, I mean, but
finally gone?
because you wouldn't have had to do that if Quill wouldn't have got Thanos refocused.
This is a great segue into my great moment
Yeah, go ahead.
when Tony looked at him and was like, "You talk all that shit, Cap. You talk all that shit about being a Boy Scout. You weren't fucking there. I shouldn't have to call you. You talked all that shit. You can go around and save the world. You knew there were aliens coming.
Right.
You let me and that kid go up there and fight alone.
Right.
Right.
Fuck you. You do it. I'm not doing. No.
And
You
he
go by
told him-
yourself.
Yeah,
I was.
that was
Hey,
dope.
I
That
was.
was- that was dope.
Dude,
That was
he
dope.
knows. I was in the theater. I stood up and clapped like, yeah. When he was like, yeah. When he did that shit, he was like, and then they were like, oh, Tony, you need to get back. He's like, fuck you. No. Get me out of here. I'm done. Like, no.
But that also. But if I can,
That was the realest part
if
of
I
the
can
universe.
if I can interject just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
No.
That also shows Tony's hypocrisy throughout the entire Marvel universe, where he jumps back and forth between these so-called moral parallels that to the point where they become discrepancies and even vacancies in some cases, right? You see what I'm saying? So from Captain America's standpoint, it's one of those things like, wait a minute, but just a week ago, homeboy, you was talking some other stuff.
You see why I want to do a show with this
I
dude?
agree.
I
Because
like the way you put that. But let's deal with that. That wasn't what he was talking about a week ago. Maybe a year. A year ago was
But
Tony-
you get my point.
Yeah.
Tony.
You get my point.
when you
Totally,
need
totally.
me, I'll be there. End of credits. I broke everybody out. 2 of y'all get to go and be in jail.
But he didn't make the call either.
Phone goes both ways. That's family. So wait, hold on.
I
I'm
do
chilling.
agree
Wait,
with
no,
him about
hold
that.
on. I'm chilling.
Phone goes
I'm
both
chilling.
ways. That's family.
I'm chilling with my sister, and we're raising this android, and and this little mutant, right? We're chilling, and there's ships coming from the sky, from the sky. You know what we're gonna do? Let's go to Africa. I'm gonna go hang out with my homeboy, the Black Panther. Maybe I should call. No, I won't call Tony and get that spider guy involved. Because, we got it. We're over here in Africa. I'm sure Tony's fine. I won't even send a two-way text. You know what? I won't even like one of his photos on Facebook.
we're gonna,
So I hear you, but yes.
we're gonna take a
You're
quick
right.
break.
We know he's a hypocrite. Yes.
We gotta take a quick break.
All right.
We're gonna take a quick break and return to you with more of the fuckery. Just being Ernest, Cage Against. Avengers Podcast.
Best podcast ever. So nice to be able to curse.
Back in here.
Stay friends.
And we're black.
And as hell. And the look on my face right now is the results of some nonsense that one of these podcast members just spewed at me before we came back on the air.
That'd be me.
God.
What happened?
What happened?
I said I felt like the Warriors were moving the ball a little bit more smoothly since KD's been out these last couple games.
And this
That's
is the
not
look
true.
of a face of a guy who's looking at another guy who doesn't know anything about basketball.
I see a little bit more fluidity.
Many people
between
agree
them.
with
It's
Brain.
the same.
Many people agree
and
with Brain on this.
maybe they don't know a damn thing about basketball.
I've heard people say that they're
JK is-
even better without him. That I
JK
disagree
is
with.
That's
seems
just because
disappointed.
they don't want them to be together.
What?
No, I want him
what
to come back,
disappointed
but
you about
need to pay
Endgame?
Clay first.
What disappointed
If
me?
you
Clay
can't
on
pay
Endgame.
both, you gotta get Clay back locked
What
up.
disappointed you about Endgame?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Nothing was wrong.
Not
Okay?
a doggone
Interesting.
thing was
We're
wrong.
moving on.
Yeah.
We're moving on. Brain, what disappointed
I'll
about
leave that
Thanos
to
Endgame?
y'all.
died.
What?
Thanos died disappointed me.
Okay.
Well, kind of.
He
Twice.
got his head cut off.
Twice.
Well, the first Thanos.
But I knew he was gonna
Well,
come back after that.
Older Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Yes.
Once he got, as
Older-
Spider-Man would
Oh.
say,
Okay.
once he
Younger
went all
Thanos.
dusty.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but young Thanos
older-
got removed from existence. So yeah, okay.
All right.
I might have to go last. I got a list.
Damn.
I'm not ready to deal with
That
you.
man said.
know what you're
That
gonna do.
man said I got
hold
a
up.
list.
If it's about her, I'm gonna knock you out. Hold up. What disappointed you?
Continue
Well,
being
I
Ernest.
here two. The second one is kind of nitpicky.
Okay, fair.
Number one, Captain Marvel.
Did you guys go out for a
What?
smoke break? Or was
No, dude. Okay, Captain Marvel, incredibly OP.
Yes.
Way overpowered. She has no weakness.
That's kind of her story. Her weakness is generally men don't like her.
But she came in so late. It would just felt like they just threw in just to like finish off the fight. Okay, all right. See this face right?
Yeah, that's kind of
Watch me zoom it in on the edit.
that's kind of her job.
I mean,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yes.
like, you know, if
Kind
you-
of like she was overhyped.
Okay,
mean,
wait.
It was.
like she
It
was
just felt
hyped.
so.
No, it's more like you have the New York Yankees, and you know that you got Mariano Rivera in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
like that.
Sure,
Can
sure.
I
But
hear
she
you.
still
I want
got
your
murked a little
opinion.
bit by
I want your
Thanos.
opinion. That was the first one.
little
Let me
bit.
give you a response
Got
to that.
power blasted
I don't
out of the
disagree.
movie.
On your cup is the great late. Rest in peace, Tony Starks. Okay.
Yes.
He and his friends fought
Shout out to Ghostface
diligently
Killer.
to protect New York. But at the end of it, it came down to what? What ended the Chitauri fleet?
What fleet is that again?
The Chitauri fleet that was invading New York. What ended the fight?
Oh, the first Avengers movie.
Yes.
The Iron Gauntlet slap.
God, I don't.
Oh,
even,
the first Avengers.
It was
My
a
bad.
I
missile.
don't even remember.
It was a missile made by the U.S. government.
The mothership.
Okay.
Captain Marvel is a living missile. Just that's my response to you.
An overhyped missile, though.
And
I'm not dealing. Okay, next
Okay,
complaint.
all right,
Next
okay.
complaint. I'm done with him. He's a sexist. I'm done.
I'm
Yes.
sexist. I'm a sexist because I can
Hey.
criticize the movie. And his
You know what's funny though? I actually really enjoyed the Captain Marvel movie.
Don't
I thought
open that door. Don't open that door with him. I'm not ready to waste another card.
It
Okay.
was
all right.
amazing. You
That
didn't like
movie
it.
was
the
great.
movie was
Yeah,
cool,
bro.
but it was an episode of
He's about to
Agents
embarrass
of
us.
Shield. It was an hour-long episode
Where's-
of Agents of Shield.
Where's the
Okay,
wrong?
Shield is
so
an
I
ladies
like
and gentlemen,
Agents of Shield.
It
This
was
is
rushed.
the point of
it
the
was
podcast.
rushed. It was mad rushed. It wasn't rushed?
So-
She wasn't overhyped. It wasn't rushed?
So, ladies
We ain't
and
gonna talk
gentlemen,
about Rush right
this
now.
is the part of the podcast
It
when
wasn't
you're
rushed.
having a family dinner,
Okay.
and then the embarrassing uncle walks in.
Drunk and starts farting. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
This is that part
let's
of the
go,
podcast.
Let's go through your little issue. Did
Okay.
you feel the movie was rushed, Captain Marvel?
No.
Did you feel it was rushed?
No.
Did you
I'm
feel it
not
was
gonna
rushed?
bring up Rush
No.
because
Did you
I
feel
have
it
a
was
fire
rushed?
and blood jacket
No,
on
no,
right now.
So the chorus,
I thought it was late.
the democracy you said you believed
Right.
in, just told you you're tripping and you will double down. Okay, cool. Moving
right.
on to Ern.
I applaud you for that.
You had a second one. Wait, sorry.
The second one was very nitpicky,
Yes,
but
fair.
it's just that Tony Stark solved time travel in 5 minutes.
Boom.
And I was just like,
Boom!
I was like, man, what did
Fact.
Did he pull out some kind of PDF file? And
Okay,
like,
so-
let me pull out my old college thesis and solve time travel.
Let me add something in there. Let's think about this. Okay.
Let's think about it.
We were in a theater for 5 minutes. That doesn't mean that scene and the time was 5 minutes. We know that Age of Ultron happened over 3 years.
Sure.
So he's obsessing over this concept for more than 5 minutes.
And let's be real, they brought him the idea, and then he was like, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, he expanded on it.
And he was like, y'all don't know what you're talking about with quantum physics. And then he took it to his basement.
They just
and
let
he
you know.
was pulling
They-
all-nighters.
They feel the white
where
man is a
baby
genius.
Start baby start. She came up in there talking about shit, Dad. What the fuck you doing down here so long?
And let's remember, as an archetype, the word comes back, he is a futurist. Which means he's been obsessing about time travel for the longest time, as has Thanos. Because one could argue, how did one Pym particle...
Though, again, small, negative part about it. That was
I would
my
say
own
I'm
thing.
disappointed.
Hold your
they
guns,
didn't
Oda. Hold up to your guns, Oda.
I would say that
No, I'm sticking with it.
as a
but-
final Avengers movie, where part of this Tony Stark arc is to see him be the Iron Man and build it, I was disappointed that you didn't see more of his thought process. But again,
I think that's
more
what we're
of-
saying. It's the same thing that Daniel's saying. It felt like he figured it out as soon as they told him. Like, oh yeah, hey yo, Friday.
No.
What's the parameters of?
No, here's the worst part. He had already been working on it. That's the worst part. But
And they didn't explain that.
I think they needed to show that a little bit more. That there needed to be more clips early on when they
Okay,
came.
yeah.
Because, that's the thing. That's how he deals with his addiction. I think when they came to lunch, you need to see some hints that he was already trying to keep that in the closet.
Yeah,
Then that puts him at
within the
3 hours
5
and
years.
15 minutes instead of 3
Right,
hours.
sure.
Yeah, it needed to happen to push the story forward.
Sure.
But it just seemed like he opened up an old,
Fair.
an old.
But that's
project or
Tony.
something like
right, and
that,
we'll come back to that. Now,
Okay,
did
Ern.
you have was that your second one? Okay, did
Yeah.
you have any disappointments?
I wouldn't call it. Yeah, well, kind of a disappointment.
Yeah.
The Ronin character.
Oh, that did.
Yeah.
So you either gonna do it or you're not.
Right. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Because I
Yeah,
mentioned him.
I mean, when I saw him. He was there. He was doing the work.
Yeah.
When Black Widow came to get him, he was putting in the work.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't return.
Yeah.
It was just like,
I missed that.
okay, why wouldn't you just keep him Ronin for the rest of the movie so you could continue on, so people will know, hey, this is another part of Hawkeye, And I mean, it was a good movie all in all. But I would say that was probably the only thing where I was like, well, hey, there's Ronin. This is dope. This is about to be fly, samurai shit.
Yeah.
And we didn't get much after that.
Fair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the villain from the first Guardians movie.
That's what I thought. It was
No, Ronin. When he became a ninja, he's Ronin.
But wasn't that guy's name Ronin as well?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's spelled
The one that
different.
Captain-
One's a Japanese word, one's a Cree word.
Yeah.
The one that Captain Marvel let get away at the end of her movie, and she just waved to him as he left.
Yes.
That one.
Yep.
All right. What's next question?
Yep.
But Thanos did mention him. That's why I was like, oh, I didn't see him.
My goodness.
Can't.
Did you say your disappointment?
My disappointment was it was subtle, and I wish they had brought it out more. There's a scene. What I thought was brilliant was they went to everybody's number 2 movie, and they said, let's do a do back. Let's go back to that moment because that's the character arc change in your second movie, right? And I don't think they were very obvious about what Tony Stark's moment was. And there was a clear moment where he had a piece of compromise where he made peace with Cap, where he said, I know where to get this stuff.
Yeah.
And I know. But I don't think people caught how deep they were acknowledging some of those things. He's basically saying, look, my dad hangs out with Hydra. My dad's a member of Hydra. My dad, that's why my dad drinks all the time, right? So the same place that Howard Stark is recording Tony, you'll figure this out one day.
Yeah.
That's that bunker, right? So his dad was complicit in working. That's why he was an alcoholic.
Right.
That's why Cap was giving him that look, because it was kind of that moment like, you judging me for all this stuff, and I can judge you too, but as younger brothers, we got to get over this and do better than our dad. We got to get over this. And I thought that was a special moment, but I don't think they explained it as well. I think they could have fleshed that out more.
Gotcha.
But I
Gotcha.
did like that. So, just being earnest, if I'm right, deals with topics of pop culture, which we might call fuckery. Correct?
Yeah, pop culture, yeah.
How would you say that Endgame has affected pop culture?
Well, you get a lot of people who are just being introduced to these characters. It's just funny when when it comes. Oh, have you seen this? Oh, do you know about this? And it's just like, yeah, I know about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go as soon as I can. But,
Yeah.
it's just wild to me. Even like the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew
Yeah.
that this character has existed since the 70s.
Correct. And predates the Black Panthers.
Remember all that Wakanda worship that was going on?
Yeah.
Where everybody was like, see, we got to all be together. Well, that Wakanda worship lasted for about 2 weeks before I was being meat mugged on the streets again.
Yeah.
Preach.
So that's the effect, Negroes kill me.
And each other.
Yeah, I was speaking hypothetically, but yes, and each other.
And each other.
Well, okay. Oh,
Although
semantics.
I did go to New
Semantics.
Zealand. I did go to New Zealand for a month, and everyone called me Wakanda. So,
Wow.
there is some effect. Yeah, I know what you mean. Anything for you? Do you see any pop culture?
I mean,
It was just working. Avengers, both Infinity War and Endgame had that effect of where it became an event for people. Where it, like Ernie was saying, was like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? As soon as it came out, I got asked every single day if I saw it. It got to the point where I didn't want to fucking see the movie anymore. But I was lying. I did want to see it.
They had the little woman power movement. The woman power movement. where all the female superheroes, we're gonna do this. I got you, girl. Whatever they were saying.
She's not alone.
It was the same bullshit. It felt forced. We gotta get a Me Too movement going. Let's show them the girls got this.
Can I just?
It was so whack. I love all of those characters, but man, that felt real strange.
I have to tell a quick story about this because I forgot about it until just now.
damn.
For those of you who don't know,
already.
Watching a movie with Ern is the funniest shit in the fucking world. So we went there. We damn near took like a day off of work, and then we went to go watch it so we can do this show. Like we hadn't seen it yet. And so when we went to go see it, he was going off and getting food and all this shit, but he didn't realize that as he was walking in, the last preview had ended. So the movie started already. And as you know, the movie starts off at the barbecue scene.
Yeah.
With Hawkeye and his family. And Ernie he comes in.
I didn't know it started yet.
He was coming in. He comes in. So he was talking so reckless. He came.
I was talking like this.
He came in. He came in with all this food, right? And he's like, "Oh shit!" And then sat down. Families everywhere. It's hilarious. And he's the first thing you see on the screen when he sits down is a Hawkeye or one of his, somebody putting mayo on a hot dog, and then Ernie was just like, "Mayo on a hot dog? God, look at these white people putting mayo on a hot dog." Okay, and then he's like, and I'm crying at this point. And he's like nudging my shoulder, like, "Damn, no, he's talking about mayo up in here, mayo." And then I'm just dying and shit. And then, oh my god. And then, and I finally somehow get it out of me to tell him, like, it's fucking movie, it's the movie. And he's like, oh, word. This is gets like hella quiet and shit.
Shout out to me for being ignorant.
Oh my god. Talking about man.
Cage Cousins. We predict fights in MMA, and I think we saw in Infinity War very good signs, and we know since Winter Soldier how much influence MMA has in the MCU.
Right.
What was the best martial arts fight in Endgame? Or for you, what was the technique or thing that you like to see?
Wow. This is
The 3-on-1 with Thor, Cap, and Iron Man versus Thanos.
Pause.
That's a good pause.
Did you guys? I can't believe you guys never said this earlier. Did you realize what they did writing wise? That they made Thor go up a weight class?
Right.
He went up
No,
two.
no, seriously. If you think about it, no, seriously.
he
If you
went
think
up
about it,
two.
he's a light heavyweight, and Thanos got with him, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right. So he went up to heavyweight.
Yeah, he went up to heavyweight.
Keep it real. He
He
looked
went
like
Roy
Big
Nelson.
Country.
I'm sorry.
He went Roy
That
Nelson.
was funny.
Yeah, no, and it worked. But it worked, right? He could take a lot more damage. He was at heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
Just like Professor Hulk went down to light heavyweight. It wasn't working.
Disappointment.
What was your favorite fight, though? Do you have a favorite fight, or you just gonna be
no.
disappointed and sour the whole?
Disappointed.
You didn't like the film?
See, so
Professor Hulk was a disappointment.
What
so
was your-
ladies and gentlemen,
didn't do
this is
any
the part of the
Hulk shit at
podcast.
all.
was the fight?
This is the part of the podcast where our executive producer Deshawn Davis should be hung upside down on a wall with 50 rows of duct tape by his ankles.
Sheesh.
Yeah. What was
It went
the
there.
fight for you? What was the technique? What was the moment?
Boy, I'm not sure I can pinpoint one specifically.
When
Hours a movie.
When Banner got knocked out of his body.
You know,
Oh, okay. Banner versus the Banner versus
Why
the,
didn't he
the
just
Angel
tell her,
Heart.
please just come with me? Help us fight this fight. We need you.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I gotta say, the whole thing
Because
where he
Professor Hulk was
freaked out.
disappointed?
You hit a motherfucker
He
like that.
freaked out.
like-
He was like, "Wait, what just
Okay,
happened?
I
Why was
could-
my body over there?"
I could just go down a whole road, but real quickly. Okay.
ahead.
So his whole issue is around disassociation, right? It's either Banner, right?
True.
Right? It's either Banner or it's Hulk, and he finally gets to peace with himself, and she knocks Banner right back out and says, "Hey,
Hey,
I like
how's that going for you?" Right?
I like it when Valkyrie told him, I prefer either one of y'all compared to this shit.
Yeah, yeah. So that was okay. That was yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, mine was the trifecta versus. I remember
No, sir, yeah,
when
yeah.
you brought up in
Pause.
the original Avengers,
Yeah.
they got him up them
Pause.
three versus Loki.
Right. Or
Wakanda
those three.
versus each
Oh, those
other.
three versus each other
And now
first,
it's-
right? That's why it had to be those
Pause.
three.
That double blade that Thanos has is sick.
Yeah, it is.
triple pause.
He took off. How did he break
Stack
the vibranium
Press
shield?
play twice.
Stacked paws.
Exactly.
Dr. JK, what was your fighter technique?
Hawkeye versus Widow.
Man,
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
a little too Angela Jolie, Brad Pitt for me, if I'm honest.
I hear that.
A little too G.I. Joe.
But
I
you
wish
still
they
didn't
never
know.
made this movie.
But you still didn't know who was going over the cliff.
Why did she jump after he already jumped? How's she gonna know that he's gonna save them with?
She
with
didn't.
an
She meant to
arrow?
jump.
But then you both died. Nobody takes the soul stone home.
Then they both died. That's the point.
That was the point. That was the
It was
point.
a
That was
sacrifice.
the
Okay,
internal
so-
struggle between them both because they
That's what
loved
made
each
the
other.
If
If
as
Infinity
brother
War was about
brother and
if
sister.
Infinity War was like Game of Thrones, where it's about a parent and their kids, and there's 5 houses fighting. Endgame was about brothers and sisters. So those two are brothers and sisters.
Did we just have a Harry Potter moment just now?
No,
No, Harry
But
Potter.
what was your fight? What was your technique?
Man,
Come on, you gotta pick one.
I don't know if I can
When
pinpoint
Thanos
just
got
one.
his head chopped off in the beginning of
I mean, honestly, that was my favorite part of the movie because it was so cold.
he was finna season up some fruit.
It was so cold. Thor came out of that joint like Tony Soprano.
Captain Marvel with that choke. That was me. With that choke though.
Ooh,
The way she just came through the door and just like that's what and y'all talking about OP, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, that's her purpose, to let you know. This is the only person who can put Thanos in a choke.
So can
Yeah.
for those people who don't play video games,
Yeah.
explain them to them what OP is.
Oh, overpowered.
There you go.
Okay.
I played video
Overpowered.
games and I had no idea what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
overpowered.
OP.
OP
is
means
overpowered.
it means like the game balance is off. Like
OPP, I know
this
about that.
character's always
And I'm down.
Yep.
Yeah, you know me.
So I got a really good one. All right.
Why she didn't show up at Sokovia when they was
It's
finna-
5 little letters that I'm missing here.
Nice. One member of the nice. One member of the cousins gets the answer. One member of the Just Being Earnest. If Endgame was a classic 90s hip hop album, what album would it be?
Huh?
Why just one?
I disqualified myself from answering the
I
question.
spent so much time thinking this through last night, and now you're telling me I don't get to say it.
No, you could say it if you have the answer.
But it wouldn't.
Wu-Tang Forever.
Ooh.
It's funny. That was one of the first things I thought about. I didn't actually
I thought of
answer the
36
question
Chambers.
directly. I was just kind of like, huh?
That's interesting. That's interesting you would say that.
Wu-Tang Killer Bees on a swarm.
That's really interesting you would say that, but they didn't really have any guest appearances on Wu-Tang Forever. It was all the family. So you kind of need features the way they brought people in.
See,
Okay.
mine's is a personal thing.
Yeah, what
it
was
wouldn't be a hip hop album that the world knows about. For me, it came down to that first Herm Lewis compilation, Trying to Survive in
I
the
didn't
Ghetto.
think it would be a compilation.
Because that was the
Herm
first
Lewis.
time I had ever heard of a
compilation. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even thinking about
And it came-
compilations.
And he brought fools from the hood, from HP,
Yeah.
Lakeview,
That's what I'm saying.
Sunnydale,
Yeah.
Fillmore. They were beefing.
Herm Lewis is a rapper.
Yeah.
Or a producer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did some rapping too, yeah?
Went by the name Herm.
And that just so. And then at first I looked back and I looked through the songs and I was like, I don't know if I really like these songs anymore. Like in the 90s, I loved it.
Compilations
But
were
then-
shit back then.
Then there was a few that I wasn't really recognizing. And then a family member that apparently you've seen today, my boy came through to drop me off some. And we were like going through it together.
Shout out for dry shooting.
Let's make sure we blurt that name out.
I
you know
needed
what?
some
That was
medicine,
very
and
dry.
my brother came through for me.
I will say that was very dry. That was definitely a dry.
I
snitch
needed
for
some
sure.
medicine, and my brother came through for me. So, if you call that dry snitch, it's legal out
New
here.
podcast, Cage Against the FBI, featuring
It's legal here.
just
so
being
these niggas
snitched.
is lying.
Just Being Snitched.
I'm deaf. I can't even hear. I can't even hear. I'm deaf.
Anyways, we went through the songs together, and I realized there are some bangers on that.
Yeah,
And,
that's a good one.
That's why-
That's a very, very good one. Yeah, definitely would have to be an album that had a lot of features.
But I did think of Enter the Chessbox, or Mystery of Chessbox, the 36 Chambers.
Yeah, but
Not
that's
Forever.
That's so
I
subjective.
didn't like
yeah.
Forever as much.
Oh, wait,
I mean,
that's
but
all,
this is a
whole other
subjective
argument.
question in nature.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
One of the greatest hip hop songs of all time is Heaters, and that's the second last song of Wu-Tang Forever.
Absolutely.
And also, Wu-Tang Forever has the song
Didn't it have-
MGM on it. And I mean, come on, how can
Didn't
you
it
go
have
wrong?
Triumph as well?
Yeah, but Triumph isn't as raw.
Yeah.
Triumph, I would say, is the first. I would say Wu-Tang Forever is the first Avengers movie.
I like Visions. That's a good song too.
That's also another great one. Yeah, that whole album is great. That whole album is great. And
I'm
it
gonna
took
have to
so
revisit
much to
I'm gonna have to
make it.
revisit it.
All right.
I'll admit that.
No, it was a great album. You have to come back to it later in life, but you just have to mute out when RZA's just talking about, you don't need no summer school. We asked this before. Let's come back real quick. Now that you've seen Endgame, 22 movies, which Avenger are you and why? Quickly.
Ant-Man.
Oh shit.
Okay. Fair.
I'm a silly ass dad who loves his daughter.
Makes sense. Shout out to fathers who love their daughter. Steak fries. Okay?
Pineapples, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you
what
said
is
pineapples.
Yeah, pineapples.
Diced pineapples?
Diced pineapples.
Diced pineapples and steak fries.
Oh, the bell.
I don't get it.
Oda, which Avenger are you? And why?
We need to swing back around to me. I haven't thought about that actually.
This one's
Yeah.
D. All right, okay.
We're over here. We're
D squared.
D square.
What happened?
Which Avenger are
Which
you?
Avenger are you?
Oh, I thought you was asking me a separate question.
You think about that food.
Hella hungry right now.
Snacks.
Hella hungry right now. Dang, I really don't know. They all have their flaws.
That's why Marvel's
Except
superior.
Captain Marvel.
I can give it up for Iron Man. I can give it up for Iron Man. We both have to build what the things we want to see in life.
Ooh, very,
I like
very
that.
nice.
I like
yeah.
that.
And you
Yeah.
have to make the sacrifices, sadly. Okay.
Oh, me. Man, I don't know, man.
All you want is hot dogs with mayonnaise.
Hold the mayo. Hold the mayo. No,
Mayo?
No offense.
Talk about mayo.
No offense. I'm cool though. Putting no mayo on my hot
Yelling
dog.
in the fucking theaters.
Yeah. You know,
Pointing people
Sounds
out.
like-
You like mayonnaise
sounds
on
like
your
a
hot
store.
dog, don't you? Like,
Sounds like a store. He probably didn't hold the mail.
I don't do Thor. I don't do the whole white savior thing.
Shout out to Khaleesi.
Or maybe a shot down.
I fuck with Rocket. Rocket is the closest thing to Ern.
Ooh, I get that.
More Paul Rabbit.
Okay.
I did on the blog. I put Fat Thor.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
about
closest thing I
overthink
got
my
is
past.
Rocket.
Hulk because my secret is I'm always angry, and then I put but deep down I'm Ant-Man because.
When I got the question, I was thinking about like who is actually in the Avengers. Who are the Avengers members? Not just superheroes in the movies, but who are actually in the Avengers?
There's a lot of them, man. Wolverine is technically
But he went in Endgame.
right.
So
Exactly. That's why I
Is
had to
everybody who
Simply
came
has
out the
to be a
portal
member.
now Avengers?
Avengers, correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, is everybody
Yes.
Avengers
Yes.
now?
Yes.
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 Everyone counts.
Yep.
So nothing?
I'm gonna stick on mine.
Okay.
Don't take too long because I will move on.
Unfortunately, I have to go with Tony Stark. Just because there are parallels between he and I. Advanced degrees from a respected, world-renowned university. A nice guy, but most people think he's a utter asshole.
Because he is an asshole.
Well, and some people think that I am. So there's that.
Well, you are an asshole.
You guys both
See,
watch Mitch
I can
Marshall.
appreciate that.
See what it is. What it is, ladies and gentlemen, I am a truth teller, and people don't like hearing real shit. That's really what it is.
Message.
Yeah, there are just so many. There are
Message.
many parallels between he and I. You know, he and I both lost our parents, and in tragic fashions. So yeah, there are just so many. A lot of people would automatically think that I would take Black Panther, but the thing is, Black Panther was a prince, and
He's kind of a pussy too.
I was a 9-year-old kid who, I was a 9-year-old kid who spoke 6 languages and had to spend his time jumping from village to village as a translator.
From village to village, man.
So
Come on now.
there aren't
Dude.
a lot of parallels between Black Panther and I.
Who didn't answer?
Who are you?
Oh,
I
what?
think
Daniel and you.
2, right?
Oh, remember, I'm the pussy.
Oh, Black Panther got his ass whooped.
Grab you by the
Twice. Black Panther got his ass whooped twice.
They killed my father.
M'Baku put the mans on him.
They went after my father, son.
M'Baku
Nah.
came through.
And
You
M'Baku
see,
works for who?
Killmonger came through, threw him off the.
Who does M'Baku work for? Who does M'Baku work for?
I don't know.
What?
Wallace did cheat though.
Hey, who does M'Baku work for? There's no cheating. There's no cheating.
You take the Panther juice out of you, Killmonger throw you off the thing.
And where Killmonger at now?
I don't know. He might.
Where's Wallace String?
I tell you where he is.
Where's Wallace?
He
Killmonger
was
healing.
watching the sunset
Right.
as the blood was flowing from his veins.
Sir, he got him up in the thing. He healing right now.
He did
Nah.
cheat though, because Rocky trained him before. So
He didn't cheat at all.
We give the white man no credit here.
He didn't cheat. And keep in mind. Killmonger was cheating.
He's no Wakandan.
Yeah, that's what I just
He's
said.
one of ours.
So,
Killmonger's the real one. Tell me why I actually liked Killmonger more than any other character in that movie. I thought Killmonger
because you're
was
from the Bay Area, and he reminds you of somebody from Oakland,
Yep.
opinionated, deeply problematic,
but his
always
his-
a hater.
He had the issues.
Yeah, his motives were like, damn, it was such a good villain.
You know,
you could understand where he was coming from.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
as somebody like me who grew up in those kind of situations, I could understand how someone who was born outside of the home country would come in and say, "Hey, you guys are not doing this right, so let me get this right for y'all."
Sure, yeah.
I could totally see it.
That's what made that movie great for me, was the protagonist and then the antagonist.
Chadwick Boseman was that dude, though.
Yeah,
And
but
by the way,
you could like really feel for both.
Right. And by the way, I just want to interject, right? One of the things that I can speak to that is 100% true is that there are a lot of Africans who feel like they are separate from other black people around the world. And that is a line of thinking that definitely needs to
The
stop.
feeling's mutual.
Sure.
The feeling's mutual, I come across a lot of authentic Africans just because of my job.
I'm not surprised. Now let me guess. Ethiopians?
All of them. People from Ghana. People from Ghana always. People from Ghana coming through, buying expensive stuff and mailing it back.
Yeah.
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 I could totally. Oh, Ghanaians? Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to ask this though. He said that he wanted to be able to use Wakanda's resources to help black people around the world.
Right.
And then he goes and kills all the things that turn you into Black Panther so that nobody can have that resource anymore. Why aren't you handing them things out like hotcakes so we
Well,
can
I
fuck
tell you why.
everybody up?
Because he's
I
a
tell you
liar.
why.
Because he works for Hydra.
Hell Hydra.
Well,
there you go.
that and
he's a liar.
remember he was also trained by the SEALs, and remember what
Not just
the
the
agent said. But
Hydra.
hold on, but remember what
trained
the
to do that.
agent said. One of
CIA.
the first things you do is you disrupt the fabric of that country's government. So what is the one thing that could hurt Wakanda the most? Burning the heart-shaped root to make sure it never grows back again.
And so there can't be another trial to see who, so the government,
Mm-hmm.
so it's locked in.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, because he's just full of it.
So is it now when T'Challa dies, there is no such thing as a Black Panther anymore?
So glad you asked. We have Far From Home coming in July, right? Which will close off the Infinity Saga.
I think the new Spider-Man, what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. He's going to be the new Robert Downey Jr., right? So it's all going to go through Spider-Man now. That's what.
No, so here's the interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. And we also know next year we get Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
And Panthers, right?
Nice.
And we get the Eternals. Okay? So, what do you predict for the future of the MCU knowing those?
Well, I just told you my prediction.
That he's the new Iron Man.
He's the new face. Yeah, he has all Stark technology. He's the guy.
I would agree with that. I think he's definitely the son of Tony Stark,
Yep.
but I think he stays on the planet. We don't see him in space anymore.
I can't call that.
And I think the space Tony Stark is Captain Marvel because she's up. And don't worry, the movie won't take long because it'll be rushed.
Are they going to do a Marvel 2?
Definitely. That's the new Tony Stark.
Gonna be like
Everything's
45
gonna be
minutes?
built around him or her. Everything will be built around her.
This guy, man, this guy.
Doctor Strange, my thought is Doctor Strange will probably be the door that opens up to...
The multiverse?
Yeah. No, I don't think they're actually going to do the multiverse. I think Doctor Strange will bring in Nightmare and stuff like that and bring more of a dream kind of like magic occulty kind of stuff. More fights with like demons and stuff kind of thing.
I like that. I like
Because
that.
they never killed off Dormammu, right?
No,
No.
they just closed the door.
Well, and
Yeah.
remember they had that deal with Dormammu that
Yeah.
said that he could never come back to.
I don't think Killmonger is dead. I think
See, that's my prediction is that
That's my point.
the multiverse is going to open up and Thanos will come back in a few
I don't
years.
think there's no multiverse. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. There's no multiverse.
I think Killmonger getting healed.
I think it
with
is.
I think
the
Killmonger
shit,
getting
man.
healed.
Why do you think there's a multiverse?
He locked
Because
up, man.
I seen
He locked up. They locked his ass up.
They gonna introduce some new intergalactic.
The
threat.
trailer,
Yeah.
for the Spider-Man, Fury even tells Peter
Is that Fury?
that
Is that Fury, Brain?
yeah, he says that
You sure?
Mysterio, Mephisto, whatever the
We've
fuck
seen
that guy's
we've seen
name is.
aliens who can change shape. We know other people can shape. Are you sure that's Fury?
If
you have
they
proof?
call him Nicholas, then it's not Fury. But if they
We
call
don't know.
his mama call him Fury.
His mama call him
Mom
Clay.
call him
We don't
Clay.
know.
I'm gonna call him.
I think
Clay.
here's my prediction. I think it's all a big ruse.
Disrespectful.
I think it's all a ruse. I think Mysterio is helping build the Sinister Six, and it's all a trap to make him look like a sucker. And I think that's really the Chameleon. It's not Nick Fury.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Because Nick Fury is not going to go, bitch, you've been in space. It's funny, but no, it's all the setup to keep him on the planet. So you'll have a teenage Avengers that will form up. You know, you'll have young guys, and they'll have like Falcon will kind of come in to help. but it'll be the young people will be fighting on Earth, and then you'll have the space stuff.
So are we going to do the unanswered questions?
Does
thing
this
after
mean
this?
that we finally
Or you
see
gonna
the
skip
end
that?
of Happy? Because I can't stand that character.
You can't get mad at John Favreau. I also think back to the Killmonger thing. I think if you open the door to dimensions, then you also open the door to kind of undead, and I think Killmonger could come back as a zombie.
Oh, nice.
But I think the real one. Here's the real prediction I have.
Oh, you mean there's more?
Here's my new prediction. I think T'Challa in the second movie is going to beef with. I'm sad they're going to do it, but I'm pretty sure they will do it because they'll make money. I think there's a kingdom under Africa, under the water, called Atlantis, and it's going to be run by a Latino guy by the name of Namor.
Beef is when your mom ain't
Well,
safe up
Latino.
in the street.
Yep, I think they're going to make Namor. I think they'll make it look like Mayan.
Put Namor in there.
They'll
Beef
put
is when I
Namor,
see you.
and it'll look Mayan. It'll look Aztec. It'll look like underwater Mesoamerican culture, and that will bring in that.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up.
So,
The cameras will not allow
No.
They don't love us.
so
our long
Love
ass
don't
podcast.
leave
all of our
here
cameras are dead now.
anymore.
All of them. We went
So,
we went
except
full
for
round.
this last one.
We went the full round. We went the full. Go ahead, Daniel.
No, go ahead. Let's go ahead. Wrap
No,
it up.
you wrap it up.
Well,
I always wrap it up. And he knocked the camera over. He knocked the camera over. It's a wrap. Just being earnest. Cage against the machine.
Don't bump the table.
We out of here. We out of here.
Mr.